Hi there, I hope you all hail and healthy. Now we are going to learn a poem, Stopping by Woods on the Snowy Eve. Already this poem taught by Anu ma'am. Once again, let's recall this poem. Please all of you take page number 19. Let's take a look at the author. The author of this poem is Robert Frost. Robert Frost was born on 26th March 1874. Passed away in the year 1968. Was an American poet noted for his realistic description of rural life. This poet, Robert Frost, who loves village life, so we could see that reflection in his work, in his maximum poems. He spent his first 40 years as an unknown entity. First 40 years of his life, he was not that much remarkable, famous person. He received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry and was a special guest at President John F. Kennedy's inauguration. Later he became a remarkable person. Then he was the guest of John F. Kennedy's inauguration in US. Frost became a poetic force and the unofficial poet laureate of the United States. He was the unofficially known as poet laureate in US. His remarkable famous works are Road Not Taken, West Running Brook, Melting Wall, After Apple Picking, etc. Like this many poems he has written. Please read this. Then take a look at the glossary part. Queer, first meaning is queer. Queer meaning strange or odd, something different. Woods, what's the meaning of woods? Stopping by woods. Woods meaning forest. Here is a rider stopped in front of the woods. That means forest on the snowy evening. That is, it's a forest. Harness. Harness means, please take a look at the picture. A man is riding on the horse. Around its neck a strap is there. Could you see? That is what? Harness. Through this we can control the horse. Then straps and fitting by which a horse is fastened to a cart or carriage. We can control this by holding this strap, which means harness. Frozen. Frozen means ice form of water. Frozen. Frozen lake. Ice. Then sweep. Sweep meaning to move swiftly and smoothly. Move swiftly meaning quickly. Something moves very quickly. Downy, soft and fluffy. Flake means a small piece of snowflake. Here means that the snow, it's very soft. It's move very quickly and softly. That is what it means. So learn this glossary. This all the hard words meaning. It's very important. Then let's get specific this poem. See, in this poem, warm-up page is given. To read this. This poem tells us the story of a man who travels through a snowy, dark forest, woods. Before that, he stopped. Before, in front of the woods, what happened? He stopped and he enjoyed, isn't it? So the story tells us, on his travels, he stopped before the forest and he is pretty much love with what he sees around him. He stopped for a while. That is what the main content of this poem. Yes, let's start the poem. Whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with the snow. See here, could you identify the season here? Which season mentioned in the stanza? Winter season. See what woods fill up with the snow. Winter season mentioned here. Here, one day, this author, Robert Frost, who was riding a horse on the dark evening. on this year, on that particular year, in this dark and snowy evening, he was riding his horse. On his way, suddenly he saw a woods, which means forest, and before that he stopped for a while and enjoying the beauty of the forest. It looks exquisite, very beautiful. Okay. Then he is thinking of the owner of this forest. The owner lives in the village. So there is no possibility to see him who is standing before the forest, before his woods. Clear? Let's read. Whose woods these are? I think I know. Here I refers to the author, Robert Frost. He stood before the forest and he's thinking, I know the owner of this forest. His house is in the village. Yeah, owner of the, here his refers to the owner of the forest. His house is in the village. He will not see me. Me refers to the author, stopping here to watch his woods fill up with the snow. Clear? Next stanza. My little horse must think it cure to stop without a farmhouse near between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Here, he stopped this horse, okay, on his way in front of the forest, means woods. Where did he stop? In between the woods and frozen lake. Okay, it is such a beautiful place. Okay, snow is falling, then this forest is filled with snow. It's a beautiful sight. Moreover, the time is the darkest evening also. Clear? Yes, here in that darkest evening he stopped. What is between the frozen lake and the forest, woods. Okay, clear? Then here he is thinking about his horse. Horse must think it's cure. Cure meaning strange, because he no need to stop his horse there. Why? Because there is no farmhouse, isn't it? So it is strange, it is cure, isn't it? So he is thinking about the horse must think like this. Why? He stopped here without being the farmhouse, like the author is thinking. Clear? My little horse must think it here. Why does it think here? Because he stopped there without a farmhouse. To stop without a farmhouse near, around that woods, that forest, no farmhouse. Between the woods and frozen lake, horse stopped between the woods, forest and the ice lake. Okay. Then on the darkest, this time also, it is very dark, not bright. Okay, darkest evening of that year. Clear? Next stanza. He gives his harness bell a shake. He refers to the horse. Here used personification. Usually animals don't speak with us, isn't it? But it is personified here. He gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is a mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy winds and snowy flake. Downy flake. Here, downy flake is, it's a snow, okay. Snow is falling from the sky. It refers, it symbolizes that the place is very quiet, noiseless, dead silent. There we could hear the bell sound of this horn's bell sound of this horse. Okay. Here the only other sounds, the sweep. Already we saw the meaning of sweep, isn't it? The snow is falling down. Small pieces of snow is falling from the sky, slowly, gently, swiftly, isn't it? Then the snow is very fluffy, soft, isn't it? Then it is falling from the sky. Then no noise, dead silence around them. Then this horse is thinking, giving a signal, isn't it? this rider must have stopped here by mistake. So it is nodding its head and making noise and asking to that rider, why you have stopped here, isn't it? It is giving signal you have stopped here by mistake. Like he gives his horn's bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy winds and downy flake. Yeah, the sound only where there, which means dead silent that places. You could sense that snowy forest, such a beautiful place. No one is around them. So we could hear the noise of this horse bell and its moves on low. Yeah, next stanza. The woods are lovely. Woods refers to forest. Forest looks lovely, exquisite. It's very beautiful, lovely, dark and deep. But I have promises to keep. Here, promises refers to responsibility. See, if we take in this stanza figurative meaning. Figurative meaning means inner meaning. In our life, in our journey of our life, we have a lot of responsibility to fulfill, right? We come to school for studies. There are kids, they don't study and they were playing and having fun with their friends, and if they off track from the journey of their life, what will happen? They cannot success in their life, isn't it? That is what says here. We come across many attractive things, then worldly pleasure around us, but we should not get off track, get away from our journey of life. That is what says. If we focus on our goal, definitely we have a lot of responsibility. We have to fulfill that before the death. The woods are lovely, dark. Yeah, the situation, the people, there are people we come across, such a beautiful people. We cannot just stay there, isn't it? We have to move on. We should always keep our mind that our responsibility. But I have promises to keep. Promises responsibility to fulfill, keep fulfill. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Here sleep refers to death, mention the death, okay. Miles to go, I have to achieve a lot before my death. That is what mean here. Yes, every day we have a lot of responsibility. We should be a busy bee. Then only we can achieve our goal. If we off track, our life messed up by ourselves. So better don't off track from the journey of your life. That's what saying. And miles to go before I sleep. Repetition. A line is given 2 times. Okay. I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. This is what the story. I hope you get the point. Simply a rider, the story tells about the rider who travels on the evening through the woods, where he is in pretty much love with the atmosphere, I mean sight, what he sees around him. Okay, but we should not be stuck in our life like this worldly pleasure. We have to move on. That's what insisted here. Clear? It is a memory poem. It has 4 stanzas. Please, all of you have to learn this poem. Then write it 3 times. Please do the work as honestly as possible. Then here, next page, fact is given. Do you know Jawaharlal Nehru, the former Prime Minister of India, had the last 2 lines of his poem written in block letters and placed it on his desk, as these lines reminded him of his responsibility. Yes, this Jawaharlal Nehru, he took this last two lines and pasted on his table. It is such a motivation for him, isn't it? Whenever he look at it reminds him, yes, you have a lot of works to do. You have to move on. You have to move on. Like that, it gives force to him to achieve in his life. So he wrote this two lines on his table, pasted it on his table. That's what it says. Then some question answers are given. I will send the notes today through WhatsApp. Then flip next page. A small exercises given. Please do all the book back exercises, and you have to learn the question answers today itself. Complete the summary of the poem by filling in the blanks. Please give a shot, all of you. After a long travel, the poet entered a dash. Entered. Where did he enter? Forest. Yes, forest. He wondered, write that. He wondered to whom the wood dash. Yeah, what he was thinking, he stopped in front of the forest, isn't it? Then what was he thinking? Thinking of whom does this forest belongs, isn't it? Yeah, belonged, past form, belonged. Write it on that dash, fill up that belonged. He realized that the owner of the wood lived in a, where the owner of the woods, forest lived in the village. Yeah, village. He thought that the owner would not be able to what? See, right? Yeah, see him stopping in the woods to watch. Dash, what? What was this author watching before stopping his horse on the woods? He was watching the snow, right? The beauty of the forest. Snow, write that, snow. Fill the woods. Yeah, the forest filled with snow. The poet felt that the horse would think it very strange. Yeah, the horse is thinking it's very strange. Why? Because there is no farmhouse. That's why. To stop near the woods as he had ever seen farmhouse. Yeah, he hadn't seen the farmhouse. He's never seen farmhouse. He was actually standing between the woods and where this horse is standing between the woods and the lake, isn't it? Frozen lake. The time was, what was the time? It's a evening, very dark, isn't it? Evening. The horse indicated that the poet had made dash. Yeah. What did he thought? What did he think? Yes, he thought, yes, this rider must have stopped there by mistake. What is the answer? Mistake. By shaking its head. It's giving signal. By shaking its head. The poet felt that woods are lovely, dark and deep. It's very beautiful, isn't it? Lovely, dark and deep. He suddenly realized that he had worldly, duties. Yes, when he was enjoying the beauty, same as you can take in our life also. We do come across, we go party, chat with our friends. If you chat day by day, nothing will happen. You will not improve your life. You will not achieve anything, right? Yeah, so while enjoying the beauty of this forest, suddenly what is stuck his mind? I have a lot of responsibility to complete. I have to go. I have to move from here. If I stay here, my life become messed up, isn't it? So he's thinking of his responsibility. He enjoyed. We can enjoy the situation, but we should not stay there. We have to move on, isn't it? Yeah, so moving. He needs to move, which would not allow him to stop in the woods for a long time. Yes, his responsibility wouldn't allow him to stop for a long time. He just enjoyed for a while, then he moved. Clear? So if you read this itself, you can understand the main theme of this poem. Okay, then learn the question answers. Some exercises also given here. Please do this. See you next class. Thank you.